It is story time, children. And on today's episode of Books Even Your Children Can Read, we're going to be talking about how I made $1 million with a toilet and a cell phone. This is my new book that's coming out on Friday. I'm going to read the first chapter today, and it is called My Life with Drug Dealers and Pimps. All right, here goes. Once upon a time in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I found myself hanging out in a strip club with an interesting crew. 2 drug dealers, one was my boyfriend, and a guy fresh out of prison after serving a life sentence for murder, and our friend, the local pimp. Not exactly where most success stories begin, but here we are. As the night wrapped up, our friendly neighborhood pimp walked me to my car. Chivalry isn't dead, apparently. Now, these are my friends, well, except for the murder guy. I just met him that night, which, looking back, doesn't exactly make the story sound any. Earlier that same week, my drug-dealing ex-boyfriend decided he wasn't a fan of my new drug-dealing boyfriend. Naturally, he handled his emotions a mature way, by threatening to kill both of us. Romantic. In response, my new boyfriend invited all of his gang member friends over to his house, and everybody brought their guns. We sat there waiting to see if my ex would show up. Thankfully, he never did. During those years, I saw people get stabbed, I lost another ex to an overdose, and it was normal to lose friends and acquaintances to violent crimes. One night after a heated argument, an ex-boyfriend pulled out a gun on me, screaming that he was going to kill me. I don't know what made him change his mind, but instead of pointing it at me, he aimed at the ceiling and pulled the trigger. Clearly, since I'm here writing this, #winning. I remember thinking maybe there's something else out there for me, something better than this. But I didn't know because this was normal for where I was from, so I thought people generally lived like this everywhere. Looking back, I've made more mistakes than I can count. I was lost and doing things that didn't serve me. The idea that I'd one day build successful 7-figure businesses online feels almost unbelievable when I think about the past. But here's the thing. No matter how much of a mess I was, I could always laugh at myself. Oddly enough, that same humor is what eventually made my businesses take off. At one point, I was living in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by farmland with no Wi-Fi, no car, and a screaming newborn who looked at me like, "Really, Mom? This is the plan?" I was a newly single mom, completely overwhelmed, but instead of falling apart, well, maybe like after falling apart, I started making silly videos on my cell phone. I drive into town to find Wi-Fi, since we didn't have Wi-Fi at home, and I would post these funny little videos online, and to my surprise, these goofy clips made me more money than I ever did working my butt off at a real job. They went viral and brought in millions of views and millions in sales for my products. Companies even started paying me to make funny ads for their businesses. So cool. These days, entrepreneurs join my coaching programs to learn how to make entertaining content to bring in sales for their businesses too. I've also taught my methods on big stages in front of thousands of people in multiple countries. Looking back, every terrible experience came with a lesson. Those early days, sitting in clubs, drinking until I threw up, dealing with abusive boyfriends weren't just random low points. They were experiences that helped me figure out what I wanted and, most importantly, what I didn't want. Now this brings me to you. Now I'm guessing you're not hanging out in strip clubs with drug dealers, and if you are, hey, no judgment. We all start somewhere. But maybe you're stuck in a situation that feels impossible. Maybe you're thinking there's no way out. I get it. I've been there. I'm here to tell you that if I can turn my mess into a message and then turn that message into millions, you can absolutely turn your situation around too. In this book, I'm going to share how I built my own successful online business as a single mom. It's packed with stories that taught me incredible lessons and step-by-step tutorials to help you create funny videos that can bring in buttloads of sales for you too. Because if there's one thing that I've learned, it's this. People love to laugh, but they also love to buy stuff while they're laughing. So who is this book for? Entrepreneurs in every niche. Whether you sell digital products, physical products, coaching, live events, services, agency work, and more, this is for all businesses in every category. This is also for someone who's dreaming of starting an online business but feels totally lost. Trust me, I've been there. Someone who already has a business but wants to make it scale in a massive way with fun marketing that actually works. And last, someone who likes learning through stories instead of boring lectures. If someone who started her journey surrounded by drug dealers and going through single motherhood can figure it out, I promise you can too. And yes, this really is the story of how I made my first $1 million with a toilet and a cell phone. Don't worry, I'll explain.